How is it going, everybody? I am Donut. This is, of course, a Black Lives Matter, all cops are bastards, and trans rights supporting channel. If you're not supporting that shit, get the fuck off this channel. This is Defenders, Season 1, Episode 3, Worst Behavior. Worst Behavior, seeming like it might be a Luke Cage kind of title. Again, we've been sort of having these titles be a little bit relevant to specific characters or so. That's what that makes me think. Worst Behavior. No other guests besides that. Let's jump into this. If you want to see the full length, check it out for $4 a month. If you want to get early access, you can actually get early access 2 episodes ahead now. So you can get up to episode 5 early if you want on the Patreon for, again, $4 a month. Or you can get early access and full length for $8. Whatever you want to do, go check it out. Let's get into it. We are here talking about Defenders, Episode 3. What the hell was this one called? Worst Behavior.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, kind of was a Luke one, but this episode way more of just the... It's interesting that we've done like sort of like 3-episode arc already of the Danny and Luke having this sort of like butting heads thing and now coming together, and like it is the whole team coming together, but it was Matt and Jessica, but even then that was way less of a like they're butting heads or they've had like this thing going on.
Like they're more curious about each other. Like he's testing her, she's really confused about his whole deal.
Yeah. So I was, again, not expecting that. We truly was expecting this to be primarily a Matt sort of run plot, but really appreciating that it was Danny and Luke having like this big fight at the end, and then Jessica and Matt come in to help with, essentially. Yeah. And boy, there's a lot to talk about this episode. There is a lot to cover.
We gotta start with the cold open.
Sure.
It's a 13-minute cold open.
It is a whole 13-minute cold open. Okay, yeah, we gotta start there. Okay, so, getting to see, like, you know, going back to the end of Daredevil Season 2 and seeing the process of all that. And, again, I'm very glad that everybody is getting a hell of a lot of characterization in this, and it doesn't seem like anybody is going to be left to the wayside or, like, you know, just feeling like a tertiary character. The fact that even Elektra is being given this much character and everything, and not just being treated like a zombie. Even if she is like a zombie, you can see the emotions behind it that are still in her.
And I appreciate that the series is... I appreciate the series is giving everyone very heavy characterization. Like, it is the, like, you know, if we're not going to focus on Matt, then we barely focus on Matt. It isn't the, like, we have 6 main characters, so we're going to do 6 plot lines every episode. Like, there's a little of that, but it's very much like, if you aren't getting the main focus, you're not that important, and I feel like, you know, like, no one's going to be left out. Like, we're going to swing back around.
And even then, Matt's had plenty of focus in the not doing much. Like, he has had, like, the D-plot, but his main stuff is the inner turmoil and everything. And like right now, at the end of this episode, I mean, it is a big thing with him facing Elektra here and everything. Like, that was very just emotional in a very different way, because it's emotional in a audience only. Like, we know that he, like, it's Matt and Elektra fighting, but as far as Matt knows, he doesn't know who the hell he's fighting up until like towards the end of the fight, where she just, you know, leaves, or not really leaves, where she gets blasted the fuck out of there.
But I really also like just how off his game he is in so many different ways. Like, he's not going out and superheroing. When he meets Jessica, he's so, like, nervous, and he's talking over himself. Because he's trying to be cool. Like, I think Matt is the most comfortable when he has a way to, like, channel that rage. You know, that Murdoch fighting spirits. But when he's trying to, you know, be more open or, like, talk to people, he doesn't really know how to do that very well.
Yeah, he trips over himself a lot and is very clumsy in the way he speaks and everything.
Yeah, like, thinking back on his, like, court case last time, it really struck me that, like, that is also the Murdoch spirit. Like, when he can aggressively attack someone, even if he is the defendant, like, it is that aggression that, like, gets him into his game. Or, like, when he's talking to Foggy, he wants to butt heads with him. Even when they're being friends, it's always, like, a friendly argument, or a friendly, like, no, that's dumb. When he doesn't have that, he's so out of it.
Yeah, because in any other circle, like, he took this case because, you know, he knows that Jessica is a super in some regard, and he wanted to, you know, sort of help her with that and everything, and have someone there that could, you know, even if she didn't know that, someone that could help her in that, like, has a relatability to her in that regard, even if she doesn't know it. But he didn't fight for it in really any way, and we've seen him fight for his clients in like very aggressive ways, even when they're saying no, 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 and he's still going very aggressive at it. So it is like this, he needs, as you say, he needs to channel that aggression. Otherwise, he just sort of like, he's just kind of coming in here and feeling like this is the thing he needs to do, but he doesn't really feel that need explicitly up until like the whole like Yakatomi building. Not the Yakatomi building. The Midland Circle. I was thinking Yakatomi because he said I already been here before and everything. But also, Yakatomi Building's fucking Die Hard. It's not. Why do I keep saying that? Oh my god. I've said it in so many reactions. Nobody's ever called me out for it. But I keep getting it wrong. Keep saying Yakatomi. Anyway, like, he didn't, have that, like, aggressive, like, I actually am going to do what I can to help. Like, rather than just, like, saying stuff, going into action to help, wasn't until that moment.
Right.
And I... okay, we went so off of the cold open, but while we're still here real quickly, I do just love how this episode like, got everybody to this building here, because it's very interesting. Like Luke gets here and like this big like I'm leaving clues for you, and then you go there and like way more of the connection and everything. Danny can just go through the system and find it and everything very easily. Jessica has to do the whole spy stuff, do the whole like get the information out of these people, manipulate people, and get the information and everything. Matt is just I've been here before. Matt's just why are you going there? Like there was no reason for him to think that he's weird. He's just like, why are you going in that building? It's a bad building. Don't go in that building.
It felt very early D&D campaign.
Yeah.
Is we're going to get all these people to this place. We're going to get them all together. And it's not going to, there's no cohesive 100%, they're doing it all intentionally. But at the same time, it doesn't feel that contrived.
Yeah.
It makes sense in the moment. It's like, yeah, of course they'd all be here.
And they're all getting it from different angles as well. Like, they're all looking into different angles. Like, Danny is just looking into, the overall corporation and everything, whereas Jessica's looking into the architecture side of things. Luke is looking into the hires and the hired help and everything. Like, they're all going at this from different angles, rather than they all have, a similar clue and they're getting it in different ways. Yeah, they're all here for different reasons. We're just going all over the episode. There's going to be no structure to this discussion at all. Fuck it. Danny, what an absolute badass the way he, walks in there from the limousine and everything. It's we have not gotten that side of Danny, at all, of him being a confident businessman.
Yeah, Danny does not like being, a billionaire businessman. He is that. He accepts that's part of him. But this is the first time where we've seen him, really indulge in it.
And, it was absolutely needed. If he went in there and he was like, hey, I'm here to see the Midland Circle people. Are they here to see me? No, not like this. It's so different. You gotta have that, extreme confidence of, I am a billionaire.
It gives him so much protagonist energy. Because, it feels like he is the big good walking in right into the villain lair, just speaking openly to them.
Yeah.
And no one else, none of the other defenders could do something like that.
No.
And mean it and actually threaten them in a way that would, that could make Alexandra scared. She doesn't seem to be, but she probably should be.
Yeah. And Danny doesn't have much anymore. As I said, you haven't lost everything yet, but he has lost a hell of a lot to the point where it's Luke could do stuff like that a little bit, but the bad, Luke can go up to a big bad and have a big conversation to them, but a lot of times he doesn't, and shouldn't, because they can affect the community of Harlem or people that he knows or blah 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 blah. Whereas Danny has basically Colleen, and she's always with him, so he's kind of good on that. He doesn't have anybody he has to worry about too much, and the stuff that he does have to worry about, he isn't even thinking about it. He's not thinking about oh, what if they just go after people in the company for some reason? That would definitely affect Danny, but he's not thinking that they would even try something like that or whatever.
It makes him more dangerous because he's not thinking.
Yeah. So, okay, we'll get back to that in a second.
Sure.
Going back to Elektra, I was very, very worried at the end of Daredevil Season 2 that we weren't going to get any more of Elektra, and that it was just going to be kind of a dropped plot point. We're going to get more of the hand and everything like that, but I don't know why I was getting this vibe Elektra was going to be this, I don't know. I guess because I was considering it like I doubt season 3 would all be about that, and so I wasn't expecting it to be
Okay.
the plot point in Defenders or anything like that. But anyway, I'm just glad this is all coming back, and is still going to be a big thing that Matt is going to have to get over, because we kind of had the cop out in season 2 of
Yeah.
her just kind of dying, and then Matt didn't have to get over it, and like that's sort of where we ended, of like Matt's sort of better, he's okay now, things are going to be up and up, and so I'm glad that we get into Defenders. It's like, oh nope, that didn't last long at all. That was a very like he was just sort of pretending, and yeah, like now he has to actually get over it now that he's gonna face her, and like her emotions are gonna come back. She's gonna be more human and everything like that. To get, like we're already seeing some of that breakthrough. So we should also definitely clarify 100%. She has to be making other like weapons and stuff like that. I think that's what the Black Sky is.
Okay.
When I was watching everything, I was like, man, it's really cool how it looks like one, but then it actually is two or anything like that. I think rewatching and editing, it has to be two.
Okay.
I mean, sorry, it has to be
one.
It has to be one, and she can clone like weapons or stuff like that.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what that would be, but like maybe the goop inside of her, like the
Maybe,
goop that she was in, maybe she can use that to make something. I don't know what it would be otherwise, but
Yeah. Like, the only thing that makes me think it has to be one weapon that breaks into two is the fact that Alexandra grabs one of them.
But that might just be a Black Sky thing. Like, you pick a weapon, now she's picked this. So, like, this is, like, the Black Sky's weapon now, or something. I don't know. But, like, they put a lot of emphasis on, like, you pick a weapon, and then once she's picked a weapon, it's like, that's your weapon.
Right.
As opposed to, like, here's all the weapons you could use. Like, so many of the other people we've seen that have a very similar role to the Black Sky, but are not the Black Sky.
Right.
And they can pick any weapon they want at any time they want, where she had to pick a weapon, and that was her weapon now. So, I don't know. I think there's something going on there.
I can see it.
Like, if she put her energy into it, but... And anyway, like, Elektra is holding it, then Alexandra grabs it. So it could still be the, if she is touching it, then...
Yeah, like, it can't be stolen.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it would be.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Like a shadow weapon, you know, sort of thing. That's a very anime, like, you know, thing to do.
I can see that being a very, like, you know, the Iron Fist is the physical weapon, and there, you know, there's nothing else to the Iron Fist. Like, the Iron Fist doesn't get better if he's using a weapon, whereas the Black Sky could be the opposite of, like, that the Black Sky needs a weapon, but then even if you steal it, like, you know, they are also the weapon. They can just remake it. I could see that. Like, you know, like, the MCU likes to do the, you know, I am your opposite sort of thing. And if we say that Danny is the, like, protagonist of Defenders, then it would make sense if the Black Sky was more of his opposites, like, in terms of ability.
Oh, if we're doing opposites, Danny is the key, and she is the whole.
Oh no, oh no!
But I wonder what do you think the Black Sky is? That's a very broad question. Let me try and specify that down a little bit more. Why do you think the Black Sky is a couple months ago, before she knew about like I mean, I guess she was gonna know that was gonna already happen. Okay, here, let's talk about Alexandra. How am I trying to talk about this? Alexandra, in my mind, here's how things played out. They find the Black Sky. She goes, okay, we'll turn her into the Black Sky or whatever. Like, it's a potential Black Sky. We'll make her an actual Black Sky or whatever. In doing that, we're using the last of our resources, which means that at that point, Alexandra can't continuously heal anymore, like she has been, or keep doing this process or whatever it is. Maybe she's switching bodies. Maybe she's just making this body continue. It seems like it's just reviving this body over and over again.
Yeah, like the reviving thing that they know how to do.
Yeah,
like we've seen it a bunch.
You've seen it a bunch. It still like is curious as to how, you know, someone so ancient is able to be so powerful. Like, and they're not in hiding. She is very much so in the public eye and everything like that. That's very interesting. That's a recent thing, but she has been in hiding for most of the time. Who knows about that sort of stuff? But anyway, it seems like that's the whole thing. She knew when she went to the doctors and that what they were going to say. She was already well aware of that. She just went there to confirm it. Yeah. And, so why do you think she would be willing to give up her life for this Black Sky? What is their goal? I have, like, clearly they want to destroy the whole city or something. Yeah. The having this influence over the world and that seems to be a means to an end. That's not their goal. Their goal is not, like, they do have an end goal. It seemed up to this point like the hand had already met their goal, which was just money and power and just being influential and everything. But no, that's the means to an end. The end is something else. Is it just world destruction? Not even like domination, but just world destruction for some reason.
Could be.
Like, otherwise, what was the earthquake for? What was the point of that?
Yeah. Because that wasn't, like, that is definitely not the end goal. That is, like, step one.
Yeah.
And that is the, like, we are running out of time, so we have to do this faster. So we're doing the earthquake. Like, presumably, whatever they were doing, they wouldn't need to make it that public until, like, the end.
Yeah. And, like, they're definitely trying to... Okay, what do we know for sure? They're trying to get something that Kunlun has.
Yeah.
But what is that going to do for them? What is the end once they get that? Destruction or a better way to revive, maybe?
Could be, like, true immortality.
Yeah, true immortality, like a way to where, now we don't have to worry about, like, people seeing us as this evil, like, we've been in hiding, more or less. They've been in and out of hiding in the same way that, like, the mob is in hiding and stuff like that. People know of them, but they're still in hiding. Talking about what she said in this episode of the, does it look like we're hiding? And then Danny be like, yeah, yes it does. Like, it's a very, I love that conversation between them there. But yeah, I don't know what, other than true immortality. That's gotta be what it is.
My two guesses are true immortality, like, that's the big one. That makes the most sense to me.
And then the immortal Iron Fist ties into that. The undying Shao Lao, or Shao Lao the Undying.
The other one would be to get to heaven. Like, whether it is, like, to make a new capital city, or to, like, like, something to that regard. Because that would also make sense as a, like, end goal. Like, we've been stuck on Earth. When we die, all we see is pure black. But we, like, we're not going to go to heaven when we die.
Yeah.
But if we do this thing, if we use this secret thing or whatever, we could, like, force our way into heaven, or make a new place that is heaven.
Yeah, cheat your way into heaven. That's actually a potential... Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, because those are two things where I think you would want to have, like, infinite amount of of money, of power, and even that would not be enough, because both of those are this is the endless ends. This is the thing that everyone absolutely wants. Once you have this, you don't need anything else. But in order to get this, like, you can't just buy it with trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like, even that's only going to get you kind of the way there.
But then what about destroying Manhattan? That also seems to be a part of their plan.
Yeah.
Of destroying Manhattan. I don't know if that ties into the wanting to go to heaven. Just that. Or if it is like we'll destroy Manhattan, rebuild in our image, we're immortal, nobody can do anything to stop us.
Maybe.
Even the Avengers can't stop us.
Because we also have the giant hole that was in Midland Circle.
Yeah. Which, assuming that there are multiple of it and everything like that, I'm assuming something like that is what they're talking about, of the hitting the door, like hitting the... Like, I assume they've just been searching, maybe?
Yeah.
And now they've, like, triangulated it, or whatever, through the explosion, maybe? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the explosion sent out shockwaves that were able to triangulate where it was.
That would make sense. Yeah, that could be they were doing localized stuff, and then that was the big old, like, we're just gonna hit everything all at once.
Yeah, yeah. Huh, okay. That could definitely be it. Because why it's just like a certain... they were all a certain level, but not deep enough to be like an earthquake sort of thing.
Yeah.
Huh. That seems possible.
And I'm guessing that, like, the Black Sky is, like, instrumental to them either getting heaven or getting true immortality. Like, it might be they can only make resurrection juice when they have a Black Sky.
Yeah.
And, like, all the resurrection juice they've had up to this point was made by the previous Black Sky. Or,
And,
like, by one that they had until Stick or someone else killed them.
Yeah. And, like, that could be Bakuto's whole thing from Iron Fist as well. Of, like, we're the good hand, but, like, our end goal is still this, so we're still doing all this terrible stuff in search of this end goal of immortality and everything like that. And why he would want to take over all of Gao's stuff and everything like that, trying to find the whatever they're trying to find, perhaps. Like, who knows how much he knew.
Yeah, the infighting also makes sense if this is for months now they've been out of resurrection juice. And so, like, it has been if you die, you're probably actually dead. Like, maybe Bakuto probably has, like, a secret extra vial or something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure all the
Or
heads
he
have a
used
little
up his
bit.
last bit when he just died, so something like that.
Mm-hmm. Something where the stakes are higher and...
Well, it's also interesting, like, well, no, I guess this is actually, in retrospect, like, there was the big talk of, like, how do you kill Harold and everything. It's like, well, you can never kill Harold. He's just going to keep coming back. Let me tell you a story about long in the past about this as well. And it's like, well, actually, that isn't all true. That was just all circumstantial because the hand had still regenerating juice at that point of the story that guy was telling. But, like, of the triads when they were telling the story. But they wouldn't have known if the hand was out of juice. Harold doesn't know the hand was out of juice. All that was, like, all in character, but truly, like, doesn't, it doesn't apply anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it is possible to just keep killing them, and at one point they're going to stop coming back. It's unclear how much regenerative juice they need, or whatever, because like Harold didn't need to be put back in the tank or anything like that. But the way Alexandra talks about it, sounds like she would need to be put back in the tank. Unless, like, it is specific because of the organ failure, whereas if you're not... I don't know, because she's so old that who knows?
I mean, she's also very prim and proper. She wouldn't want to, like, degenerate at all, whereas Harold was clearly degenerating.
That's true. True. Okay. Where do we move on from here? I feel like, have we covered everything in the cold open, or is there more in the cold open we should talk about?
I think that's it. Like, the cold open, I really like for just how in-depth it was, but it's not like there was tons and tons of stuff there. It was, like...
Hold on. The stuff they put in the, like, there's, like, this blood stuff that they put in with the whole ritual. And then they also put in, like, some ash. They do some other stuff, but it's primarily, like, this blood-like thing.
Yeah.
What if that is the blood of Shao Lao?
Huh.
Like, that's what is creating this immortality.
I could see it. Or if not Shao Lao, it could just be another dragon.
Maybe, yeah.
Like, I could see it being you can only bleed a dragon so much. They killed the one they were using, and now they need Shao Lao.
Yeah. Like, I wonder, like, the resources are multiple things, but I wonder what that blood is, that they only have so much of it, if it even is blood, or if it's just, like, a other thing. If it is just pure shadow.
What did they say in Daredevil Season 2 with the kids? Like, the kids who were, like, being cultivated with the, like...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Because I think that might just be their blood. Because, as I recall, like, they were injected with, like, a bacteria of some sort.
Yeah.
And it was, like, changing their blood. And then the blood was being taken out of them.
I'd have to go back and rewatch that thing. I don't remember. There's a lot of specifics to that I don't remember.
Yeah, but based on the specific, like, the blood and the dripping of blood, I'm guessing this is probably just their blood.
Perhaps. Yeah. Yeah. Because it was just the whole farm and everything. Yeah. Okay, I'm remembering it now. It was that they were farming out this blood and everything like that, and now they could get more resources. It would just be very difficult because of how much everybody knows now.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I did completely forget about that, but it's good thing we remember that.
Ah, yeah.
So, still talking about, like, the cold open and everything, let's talk about our boy Stick is back.
Ah, yeah.
So, okay, the line was, what was the exact line? After a lifetime of serving Kunlun, you don't even know him. Is that what the line was?
You don't even know what he is.
Yeah, after a lifetime of serving Kunlun, you don't even know what he is. Now, that line could be about, like, saying, after a lifetime of Danny serving Kunlun, you don't even know what the Iron Fist is. But, like, that sounds more like she's saying it about him.
Yeah, like, definitely like, she's trying to insult him, or she's trying to, like, throw him off his game.
Yeah. Like, they could play it with it. That line was about Danny, because I could definitely see that being, like, a twist later. But it's not a lifetime, I mean, like, it is a lifetime in terms of no one says a lifetime and they mean like 20 years,
Yeah.
They mean like your long life. So yeah, it's got to be that. not what I was expecting. You know, we talked about this a lot, and I think like, both of us were very on the he can't be from Kunlun. He's got to just be like a Kunlunabu or whatever. But
I mean, to be fair, he might still be a Kunlunabu.
maybe.
Like, it could just be he serves them, but he's never actually been.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I think he had a lifetime of serving them, and then everybody was killed except for him.
Yeah.
And he left, formed his own. Like, everybody that was killed in like the warehouse that had the poster of Kunlun and everything like that, they're not from Kunlun. They're just people Stick has taken in.
Yeah.
But I think they're definitely saying Stick is from Kunlun, was from Kunlun, blah, 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 wasn't able to be an Iron Fist or anything like that. But,
Yeah.
And left way before Danny got there, I assume.
That makes sense to me.
Maybe not, but, you know.
Yeah. I think it's actually really interesting that we have seen what Kunlun training is like. And we saw from, I keep on forgetting his name. Bad Man from the Hand in Iron Fist.
Oh, wait, Batman from the Hand and Iron Fist, Bakuto?
Yeah, Bakuto.
Okay.
Like, his compound was very similar to, like, the way they train people in Kunlun.
Sure, yeah.
But we've seen how Stick trained Elektra, and how, like, to an extent, how Stick trained Matt. And that is very not like the way
Really? I was actually going to say it's way closer.
Really?
Yeah. Like, to what we see in this episode with how Elektra is trained. Like, with the, it just looks like a dojo, and it's the, alright, I'm just going to send 50 men after you. Like, it's not how Matt was trained, but that's how we saw Stick train Elektra.
Yeah, you're right. It's...
So, that's also why in this episode I was like, this doesn't seem much different. Like, she is a little bit more, handy and, what's the word I'm looking for? Just a better fighter than she was for it. But not by a margin that seems unbelievable. So I think that's also why I think the Black Sky thing has to be this duplicating thing. There has to be something more mystical to it. The super speed, they seem to have dropped. I don't know, just kind of forget that. But yeah, I think this was closer to how Stick trained Elektra.
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking more of Matt, less of Elektra. But yeah.
Yeah, Matt was the Stick trying to change how he trained everybody. I'm like, oh, none of this has been working. Let me try a little bit different. And then even then, it was not good.
Yeah.
But yeah, but the training with Matt was way more like just training a dog rather than training a human. Yeah. Anyway, what else to say about Stick? He knows Danny Rand, so there is a possibility that he was there while Danny was there, but I think that's more just Danny's a billionaire. Danny's not hidden the fact that he's the Iron Fist really at all.
Yeah.
He hasn't been public with it, but he also hasn't hidden it, so it wouldn't be that difficult to figure it out.
And if Stick is at all directly connected to Kunlun, the Thunderer probably just called him up and said, "Hey,
I mean, maybe
the Iron Fist left. Do you know anything about that?"
If he's not dead, I feel like if they had connections to Stick, we would have seen that in Iron Fist.
True.
When they were alive and Davos was out and everything, they wouldn't have sent Davos if they could have just called up Stick.
You know, yeah, you're right, because Davos did have to do the same trek all the way across the world.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's also, we never even talked about, does Davos even know what happened to Kunlun? Did he go back and see that and then go talk to Joy or whatever? Who knows? Does Stick know what happened to Kunlun? Does he even know?
It was cool seeing Stick use his signature move on himself.
Yeah.
His move is cut off the hands, and now he's finally down one hand.
Yeah. He's been tortured so much and everything like that, but I mean, he's an old man. He's just he's already so bad off. He didn't need a handicap, but it's cool for him to already have another handicap on top of that.
Now, it answers the question of, why isn't Stick a defender?
Yeah. Because, that was definitely a question of, not a question of, why don't they get Stick, but just, is Stick gonna be in this? What's he gonna do in this? And now we kind of see, what his role is going to be in this. Now, again, I keep coming back to it. The guy that he was talking to in the end of Daredevil season 1, I believe, or
it was season 1,
something like that. Was he the Thunderer? Or was he just someone from? No, because we've seen the Thunderer.
Yeah, he definitely was not the same actor as the Thunderer.
Yeah, I forgot we've seen what the Thunderer looks like. But no, is he just someone from Kunlun at all? Not in Kunlun, but someone who is from Kunlun.
Maybe.
Otherwise, again, who the fuck is that? When are we getting back to that? The war's happening. Come on, dude. So where else do we go from that? I feel like we've covered the whole 13-minute cold open now, right?
Basically, I guess there's also the, like how long do you think the ruse that Alexandra's feeding Electra's gonna last? Like, Electra's already starting to, get hints of, remembering stuff, or, just that she has a connection to Matt.
Yeah.
Like, do you think we're gonna go the whole, length of the Defenders, and she's still gonna be brainwashed until, she snaps out of it or gets beaten up or whatever? Or do you think this is gonna be, a 1-episode, 2-episode situation, then she'll, turn on them?
I think it's going to last a little bit longer than that. I feel like it's going to be like the class, I'm starting to break through, and then they do a thing that makes the juice activate more, and she goes, oh, zombie mode activate! I feel like it's going to be like that sort of thing.
Okay.
We're going to see the emotion in her eyes, and then they're going to start to puddle over black or whatever.
Oh, the black sky is taking over!
Oh, I can feel it! I can feel my emotions leaving!
Here I go black skying again! Yeah, I would bet that we're going to have some close calls, but I don't think we're going to, hear the Elektra that we saw in Daredevil Season 2 until, the final episode.
Yeah. I agree. I think it would be too... I don't know. I wouldn't want her to turn that fast, in all honesty.
Yeah. Because then, also, if she turns, there's not a whole lot that I really am excited for with the hands.
Yeah.
They've got the ninjas, sure, but I don't want to see Alexandra fight everyone. I don't want to see Gao try and open palm slap all the Defenders.
Yeah. We talked about this last episode. Somebody brought up a good point from last episode. When we were talking about what each of the dragons the Defenders could face off, like Alexandra, main boss. Okay. Then we have, Elektra as a dragon. Someone mentioned the White Hat could be the dragon for Luke.
That would make a lot of sense.
Elektra probably being the dragon for Matt. Then, maybe Bakudo comes in somehow as a thing for Danny.
I could say Bakudo or Gao.
Yeah, Gao could also be the one for Danny. I think Gao should be the one for Danny.
Yeah.
Danny and Colleen. If Colleen has to, fight somebody as well, like a mini dragon, then, I don't know who the hell that would be. But, Colleen's been getting, in Iron Fist anyway, she was always right there alongside Danny doing big fights and everything. So I wouldn't be surprised. She is a big part of this. It feels like the Defenders are the four of them. Yes, Colleen didn't come here to this building, but she seems like she's going to be a very capable fighter on the same par as them.
Yeah, and Iron Fist did set up some tiny mini bosses that didn't get killed, so they could bring back if they want to do a quick hey, this person's really important and now they're out for blood.
Yeah, and there's never overall I think Danny is probably more powerful than Colleen just because he has a giant blast technique or whatever. But for the most part, he doesn't use that, and on their just normal fighting, they're basically the same level, so it's not really that much of a difference there. But so for Jessica, who the fuck do you think she would face as a dragon character? Because I don't know, I can't imagine who it would be.
Not in the slightest.
I don't think they're doing Misty as a villain sort of thing.
No, not at all.
It feels like they're trying to set up Misty as a Claire kind of character, and I'm not liking it. Not liking it.
You don't like Misty?
I hate her. But yeah, I don't have anything for Jessica. I can't think of anything
I feel like if we're gonna do the everyone gets a boss to fight, I think they're going to introduce someone like White Hat, in the next episode or the episode after that.
Because White Hat we don't know shit about right now at all. Yeah. Just that I assume he's also extremely ancient because Turk specifically said he's a real African brother. The way that he said that made me think of it as he's been connected to the culture for a long time.
Yeah.
Not just in appearance, but just that he has this almost supernatural
that makes
feeling
sense.
to it. Yeah. And also the pure white, he feels right up there with Alex, not on Alexandra's level, but it is a different branch, and he is the head of that.
Yeah, that was not a, I am deferring to you, we have found the black sky. It felt more like a, we are equals, or I'm right below you, and we have found the black sky, and that's why I'm interrupting your lunch.
Yeah. Yeah. He might be more the international side of things.
I can see that.
Well, no, because he's very well known around New York and everything like that. So he was just searching through New York. It's just curious that we haven't seen him before.
Yeah.
We've seen almost everybody else before but him. It's curious. Like, he seems like he should have been a new player around town, but no, he seems like he's been here a while.
Yeah, I think for Jessica, we are going to like follow up on the on the architect one more level. We're gonna see who handles like all of the like buildings. Like Alexandra runs Midland Circle, but like there's probably someone who like works on all the hands holdings, like does all the shuffling around of assets.
Yeah.
That person's probably who Jessica's gonna fight. Because I could also see that being a very big like that's the person who's been like moving the shell companies over the past 100 years, which is what Jessica was looking into.
Yeah.
Like, that would make sense as a, like, that's her enemy. That's the person she's tracking down as a detective.
Okay, I could see that.
Because I really like how, so far, like, the Defenders has still managed to keep up the, whenever we see the characters, it is, like, their show. It doesn't feel like this is just a big old crossover. It feels like we are jumping between episodes of their shows.
Oh, yeah.
And I would really like that to be the case for all of their villains. Like,
I want to just jump on that too. As I was saying, I am really enjoying that. Like, that is so hard to nail without it feeling cheesy or without it like just not feeling like that at all.
Right.
Like if they just did the colors or whatever, and like or just locations or whatever. But it's like it's everything compiled. It's the colors and that we're always in the same like locations of those shows, and that the way that the camera is held, or like how much pacing is between like the difference in like a scene of just Danny and Colleen talking and a scene of Luke talking to anybody is like so different in the pacing of the dialogue and everything. Or same with like Matt and Jessica, where it's like the camera is always like right up in their faces and everything. Like, or I'm saying Matt and Jessica as in like that was the Jessica scene. That was very clearly this isn't a Matt scene. This is a Jessica scene. The lighting is blue. The camera's right up all in their face. They're in like these like in the confessional, not confessional, but what the hell's that called? Interrogation room and everything.
Yeah.
Like that, which is not a Matt thing, surprisingly. But I think of that way more as a Jessica thing.
Yeah.
She's been in there quite a few times over shit.
I can't get over the, like, I'm not saying this is a negative, I just think it's very fun that when, like, the door to the confessional is blasting red lights.
Yeah.
And it worked really well at the start, at the end of last episode, where, like, the door opens, the red light comes in, Matt walks in. I find it so funny in this episode when they opened up the door again, and there's still the big red light, because of course you have to, that's the continuity.
It's Matt going back into the red.
We're entering the Matt world.
But yeah, I think my only complaint so far is the like alley thing with Matt was weird, and that was just bad writing. Like, Matt should have been able to hear that. There's no reason why he should have been confused about the fact that she was there the whole time. Like, whether the person behind him, like, he knew someone behind him was trying to get away maybe, but the fact that, what I'm saying, he didn't hear like the clicks of the camera or anything, which was so loud, he should have been able to hear that. A little bit of lazy writing there, but whatever. One look past it. So, the Luke and Danny talk was primo, loved it, very much so needed.
Also, before we go into the talk,
Yeah.
very happy that the way we get into it is just him talking to Claire, and Claire not doing the, okay, let's drag this out for a few episodes. She's immediately like, wait, was he a skinny little white boy? Okay, I'm gonna go call him.
Yeah.
We're sorting this out right now.
And I'm so used to that sort of. I was just kind of like, it took me until she was dialing the number to be like, oh right, yeah, she's just gonna call Danny. Yeah. Like, I'm so used to like the just describing someone so perfectly and being like, yeah, weird. That's weird. But yeah, glad we got to the just let's just have you two talk and meet and get this over with really quickly. And yeah, like they are two of the most stubborn people talking on the planet. I just really enjoyed the talk from like the various different things. Like there's a serious aspect of it, but I also enjoy like the jokes that they were playing back and forth with each other, and like the unbelievableness of like also Luke's constant character, like he will not believe anything. All the other characters like way more open to believing this. I'm like, that's ridiculous, but okay. Luke is always the that is I'm out of here. You're lying to me.
And I really like that we got to see their really bad sides without it just exploding. Like, we saw Luke's stubbornness and his, like, unwillingness to believe in weird stuff. We saw Danny's, like, I'm just gonna start saying this as if you know what's already happening. We saw his rage, like his, the fact that he will just snap into anger.
Yeah.
But
I think that is also, like, that like, Danny talking about, like, we talk about that so much in Iron Fist, but Danny just constantly talking like everybody has the exact same information he has, which to be fair is a problem I have a lot as well. Like it's hard for me to talk and get people on my same wavelength. Like, they're not feeling the same emotions I am. I am terrible at expressing that. But like that is what causes a lot of their big outbursts, is just because like Danny does not even think about anybody else's view on this, or anybody else just being like, I don't even know what the hand is. Like, it just, he seems crazy. And like, yeah, you can see why it got as heated as it did, even if it didn't get that bad.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Luke has a lot of. I mean, he has the good. He has the right points, not the good points, the right points.
Yeah, like I see where they're both coming from, but there's no way to not side with Luke on this one.
Yeah,
I mean, like that is the conclusion. Like Danny comes away from this, and he's not like, "Oh, I hate you. I'm not going to do it." He does come away from it seriously thinking, like, "Right, I am a billionaire. There is a better way to do this. I don't have to just beat up kids in alleys."
Yeah, and of course, there's the classic like. You always give Danny a little bit of leeway because he hasn't been around in society for a long time, so he doesn't get the very like obvious thing, like, you know, of the I love the conversation of the like, we both did a thing, yes, but it's fine for me to do it and it's not fine for you to do it. And like Danny being like, why? That's not fair. But it's like these are people from Luke's own community. If Luke wanted to go in there and punch that dude in the face, so be it. It's from his own community. He knows how he's handling it.
Yeah.
Danny is not from this community. He is a billionaire. He has so much more privilege and oppression over these people, whereas Luke is in the same boat as them.
Yeah.
And again, even they ran away from the police and everything like that. I was way more on Danny for that than I was Luke. Because I still, Luke should have done it too. And like, I'm glad that Luke is having this big like, I should have done that. Like, yeah, I should have done that. Yes. But yeah, Danny had way more of the, Danny, you fought the police before, you have $1 billion, you can get out of this so easy peasy.
Yeah, like Luke just got out of jail.
Yeah, and like Luke is not gonna, even if he wore a mask and stuff like that, he's pretty recognizable, especially if a bullet bounces off his skull. He's gonna be pretty recognizable. Whereas Danny could very easily, you know, put his shirt up like that and then go and do something, and probably wouldn't be recognized as well because he doesn't have, as long as he didn't do the Iron Fist, he doesn't have something that is like so immediately recognizable of like a Luke has super strength and bulletproof skin. It's gonna be very hard for him to do something without getting noticed.
Like, you know, case in point, Matt's, in that he does just go out. I mean, in this episode he tried to, you know, mask himself, but sometimes he just runs out and starts punching people, and it's fine. Yeah, because he's just a white guy in New York.
Yeah, I mean, and even more so than that, it's it is that it goes a lot into it as well. But also, they don't have powers that are very easily obvious, whereas Luke does. Like, I think that's also a really big aspect of it as well. Like, yeah, and also the fact that Luke just has a uniform. He just wears the exact same coat everywhere. So people are like, that's Luke Cage's coat. But yeah, so I'm glad that they had that talk, and you know, also like the fact of him being like, I have been in prison before. I have faced these injustices. I know what this is like. You don't know what this is like at all. You don't have the right to come in here and try and do shit when you don't know. You don't have the experience that I do.
It was just so refreshing to see a conversation like that, where like, you know, Danny doesn't just like sit there and not argue, but once he once he gets what Luke is saying, he realizes like, oh, I am wrong. Like, I'm on the wrong side, and he's like mature enough to actually deal with it. That, it sounds so obvious, but that is not something I see a lot in shows.
Yeah, and it, like, again, I love I truly love Danny as a character so much, but I love the writing in these shows are so good and consistent. Like, that we go from Iron Fist, where he's having the conversation with Bakudo, and Bakudo is like, Danny, you're marginalized to it. Danny like laughs it off. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm a billionaire. And then in this, Luke's like, you're a billionaire, and Danny's like, I'm more than that. I have other things too. Like, but then once Luke talks to him and that, like, once he I don't remember what Danny said, something like, you know, you don't know the whole, you know, thing or whatever, and Luke's like, I know enough and I see privilege when I see it. And then after that line, Danny like quiets down, because it was the specific like Luke calling out to like, no, I know when I see your privilege. And I could feel Danny in that moment thinking back to that conversation with Bakudo, where he was in Luke's shoes going like, no, I'm not. And then now he is Like, he has
Yeah.
regressed so far from the end of Iron Fist to the beginning of Defenders in just this, my home was destroyed and I gotta find the people who did it, and I'm just
Yeah.
losing it. Because every time we get somewhere, it's a dead end.
And I definitely feel for him because, like, this is also a situation where, again, like, he doesn't like talking about context. He's not good at it. He just keeps on talking about this, and everyone he meets doesn't believe him. They think it's wacky kung fu nonsense.
Yeah.
And he's like, all the people I know might be dead.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really annoying having to, like, constantly explain your ki to somebody or your chi and
Yeah.
all that stuff when they're just, like, mocking. It's like, my family's dead, motherfucker. That was such, like, a powerful line of just, like, the... I mean, he wasn't even talking about Kunlun, but, like, the, you know, where they were just joking around. He's like, my family died to plane crash. Also, Kunlun's dead. Can we get on track? But yeah, I just loved that scene so much. Very
Highlight.
much so needed.
Highlight of the episode.
So, with the kid in jail, who, like, oh man, it's such a sad scene, and then watching it in editing, I cried at the mom scene, and then watching it in editing, I cried at that scene.
Oh.
Because it is like you can see every line that Luke says, you can see something go off in his head, like, it just keeps getting worse and worse, and then once Luke says the hand thing, he just goes dead quiet, just leaves, says a lot of, like, once he said the word, the hand, he knew, I'm dead. And it was like, right after he told him 3 times, stop talking, I'm going to die.
Yeah, I mean, it's the worst situation because, like, Luke is the only chance he has at maybe getting some help, so he can't just, like, walk away before then.
Yeah.
But at the same time, all he can do is say, please don't talk about the thing that's gonna kill me, and Luke's like, but the hands.
Yeah, like, he's very clear, like, I want your help, but you have to stop talking about helping me. We have to just have a normal conversation.
Which, again, very classic Luke. Like,
Yeah.
this is primo Luke. I think that's actually, it really helps that this comes after, you know, the Danny talk, where he is completely in the right, to then be reminded, like, okay, this is what Luke is like when he's extremely wrong, he's not getting what's being put down.
Yeah. And I am glad that this all did not send Luke into a depressive spiral of not doing anything, or of being like, oh, when I try and help people, it all goes wrong. It instead, like, sort of just kickstarted his ass.
Yeah.
Like, he just bounds into fucking Midland Circle and just starts beating the hell out of everybody.
yeah.
And he's not, like, sad or, like, depressed or, like, in, like, a big, like, I just got somebody killed rage. It is just in this, like, I'm done fucking around. I'm just doing what matters. Fuck it. No more, just, you know, pussyfooting around everything and everything. Like, I'm just going straight to the problem.
Yeah, like, for motivation, I really love the scene where he's talking with, you know, the mom of the 3 kids who are now dead.
Yeah.
Because, like, first of all, like, as someone who's talked to a lot of, like, immigrant moms and, you know, like, moms with just, you know, strong accents who then, like, train themselves to speak very properly, it will always get me. It will always make me, like, well up when I hear them, like, break, like, when they dialect shift because they got too much emotion. Like, that scene killed me so much. But then, like, there's that, and there's the fact that, like, up to that point, she, you know, was completely like, no, Luke, you are not a bad person. You are an angel. God sent you to help me. And when she is sobbing and crying, she's not, like, blaming you for anything. It is the perfect, like, this is the person he is fighting for, and he can't do anything in that moment to help her at all.
Yeah.
But then when he goes to Midland Circle, that is a clear, like, you know, I'm gonna do what I can.
Yeah, like,
I
this
can't
is
bring
not
him-
going to help this is not going to help the community in any meaningful way right now. This is just going to stop further, you know, shift down the line, which is a problem that Luke has had for a while.
Yeah.
Of, like, somebody has a problem, he'll fix it, but he's not very proactive.
Yeah.
And so this is a very, like, this is not helping anybody in the situation. He's not helping the kid that he has this, you know, connection to anymore. This is just solely I'm helping people I don't even know anymore. Like, I'm helping potential people.
Yeah, like, that's really the limit of what he can do, because he is very street level. He doesn't have, like, a association. He doesn't have, like, people.
Yeah.
He's got, like, Bobby Fish, and that's it. He can get, like, one person some legal help.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out here. But, yeah, that scene was fucking... I always commend a show that is able to make me cry in 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, god damn. Oh, wow. Where to go from here?
I mean, we talked about it a little bit, but I really adore the precise visual of Alexandra, like, sitting on the table as she's trying to, like, power move on Danny.
Yeah.
Because it is, like, I love the asymmetry of, we've seen Danny, we've seen a whole season of Danny, we know he can't really do the rich boy power move very much, but he completely nails it, and Alexandra, you know, pulls a move that I'm sure would make any other CEO, like, cry and poop themselves, and Danny just stares straight ahead, he's like, no, you're hiding, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. Like, I appreciate that. I feel like a lot of other series would do you guys are in hiding, what do you think you're, blah, 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 and then they say, like, oh, does it look like we're in hiding? And then the hero would, like, falter and be like, well, I mean, actually, they are. But, like, Danny is so much of, like, he is stubborn, and he is right. You are hiding! Yes, you are! And I love the, like, you know, I bet you didn't expect this. We have a gun to your head. It's like, that was your also, like, this time not gonna kill you. We're just gonna beat you with batons. It was a very, like, unthreatening. It went from a really hype boss rush to a, like, this is gonna be very easy. This is actually, this seems like a distraction. This seems like Elektra was kicking their ass for sure. Yeah. But then, why not send her out first? So I feel like that whole fight was a distraction. I think it has to be. From something.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, like...
Maybe just for her to get away.
Yeah, maybe for her to get away. Maybe also, like, maybe Elektra wasn't ready. Like, maybe she was, like, Alexandra was, like, activating Elektra, and Elektra wasn't coming. She was like, oh, crap.
Go on.
Boy, imagine being on the board of directors. I mean, we've seen a board of directors. Imagine being on the board of directors being told, by the way, make sure you have your, you know, your big old police beady wand. If someone comes in, you are going to have to fight them to the death.
Yeah. And again, these guys just keep getting back up and back up and back up. They're getting hit with the Iron Fist, and they're like, back up.
Gotta commend them for, you know, being bad guys with a lot of stick-to-itiveness.
Yeah. So, I think we've covered pretty much everything, right? I think this is such a good episode. I feel like we're missing something, but...
like, when they all come together, there's not a lot to really say.
Yeah. Sticks with Colleen now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Does she know him?
Yeah, I'm curious.
It didn't seem like it, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it's like she hasn't seen him, but she's heard about him or something like that. So much connections. I always try and guess a connection.
Yeah,
I always want to throw out a random crackpot connection every reaction, every discussion.
Really hoping for a Stick, Matt, Danny talk, like the three of them specifically, because I feel like they all have very different pieces of what's going on right now.
Yeah. I really want to see specifically Matt and Danny talk. Like, Stick as well, yes, but even if we, like, on the way there, I also wanted to see all of them talking.
Yeah. Do you think next episode we will have, like, all four of them just, like, you know, hanging out in a room figuring out battle plans, or do you think they're gonna, like, split up after this?
I feel like we're going to start next episode with them already being separate, but I would really hope next episode starts with just the bottom floor, the elevator goes ding, and it opens and they all run out. I would want it to just immediately happen there.
That'd be really good.
Because, like, I want to know what the aftermath is. Like, what do they do? Does everybody just run their separate way? Like, I'm curious about that. But if there's anything I've learned from these Netflix specials, it's that the end of the episode is always never relevant to the next episode.
Never. Well, they could do a callback to when Matt and Elektra are, like, testing out how deep the hole is in Midland Circle. Which we know is from the end of that episode to whatever you were doing, and then all the way until the start of the next episode. It does start right there. They could do the same thing, where the elevator ride is as long as whenever you finish the last episode to this episode.
It's a big building. But yeah, I think that's it. We done. Very, very good episode. Yeah. Very, very, very good episode.
I do just want to say, like, this is the episode that made me really happy for the series. Episodes 1 and 2 were good.
They were good, but they were very, like, is this going to be a good, like, everybody together series?
This really proves that they can do it. If every episode is this good, it's going to be amazing. If every episode is, you know, a little less, it's still going to be amazing. Like, this is the proof of concept. This is the, like, okay, this is what it's like when all the cylinders are firing.
Yeah. And this is what I was hoping, I was worried that Defenders is going to be they're all four fight people together a lot of times sort of thing. But I'm glad this is like team ups as well. Like just like two of them, like Danny and Luke fighting and stuff like that. Yeah, I want more of that shit. I like that stuff a lot.
For sure.
I want all of them four to be fighting too, but I also want my little 2 team ups.
Yeah. I don't know if I've said this on camera, so I'll say it now. I'm really hoping that this is like Phase 3 of the MCU, where like we went from heroes meet up in in team up movies, and then they kind of just only meet up in team up movies. To in Phase 3, it was a lot of like you're gonna just like have Doctor Strange in this other movie. I'm kind of hoping that since there is no Defender season 2, I'm hoping that's because like they do more like even if it's just like one episode, like more team ups in their actual series.
Same, yeah. I was really hoping that was going to be the case with Iron Fist because we had already had like Punisher crossover with Daredevil and that, but yeah, but I was truly expecting Punisher to be in this. All right, see you guys for the next one. Until then, get the fuck out of here.